Happy Friday, Delmarva. We made it to the end of the week. Rachel Parker filling in for Paige while she's on vacation. Leah Rizzo, your other regular host for this week. And it's just, I think last weekend was so busy.
Yes.
That this week was just, it was a slog for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. A lot of recovery. Yes, I agree.
But you guys had an event last night. How did that go?
We did. It was so much fun. We had a great time. Yeah, we had Dane Melvin there. We collected like a mountain of food for the food bank and just had a good time. Yeah, tacos. So
nice.
Can't
So
really
now
go wrong.
we'll actually be talking to the food bank later today, so we'll be excited about that. And don't forget that this weekend, of course, we are falling back, daylight savings. I know a lot of people are excited about that.
Yes, the sleep. That's
Yes.
what I always like. Yeah.
The sleep is always good. The darkness always hurts my feelings.
I know. At the end of the workday, it's like, oh.
It always feels a little bit of an attack when you're going into work and leaving work and it's just dark.
Yes.
But the one thing I don't mind about it, at least for the first couple of months, are seeing all of those Christmas lights that people start putting up.
They're coming up earlier and earlier every year, I feel like.
They are. And actually, if you are the kind of person that is pre-excited about Christmas, like Halloween ends and Christmas begins, and then there's a little break for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is back, Oreo maybe wants to reward you a little bit. Seems like the Oreo company, not really sure why they're so invested in Christmas. But maybe it's just the giving spirit. They're giving up to $100,000 away in prizes for people that decorate their homes before November 17th.
Wow, that's pretty early too. Yeah.
That is pretty early. Are you a big an Oreo fan?
I do like Oreos. I don't decorate for Christmas that early though. What about you?
Definitely a big Oreo fan. Christmas is my favorite as far as like getting ready for the holidays. I love the decorating. I love Christmas shopping. Like everything about just the holiday buzz I live for.
Yes.
However, I also feel like I want to earn it. And I'm like, and with that comes like, I will wait until driving home from Thanksgiving dinner before I hit the Christmas music.
But exactly the same for us. Yeah. As soon as we hit Thanksgiving, then we're ready.
Yeah.
But also Thanksgiving's great. Like I don't want to skip Thanksgiving. Yeah.
It is great. And I know Paige and I were talking about this a little bit last week, and it's funny because my sister texted me today that she was like, I wasn't done with pumpkin. Why are the holiday drinks already here?
Pumpkin spice. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not either, because pumpkin to me, like pumpkin pie,
Thanksgiving
carries into Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I'm like, fall is still here. So I probably won't be getting in on the Oreo giveaways here this time because I am going to wait until Black Friday to start my Christmas decorating and all my holiday spirit.
Yep.
Yeah. Until then, I'm going to recover from Halloween.
But good luck to somebody out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Good luck to someone out there. This is sort of a change in conversation, but I think it's really interesting to see sort of a generational shift when it comes to diets. And it looks like Gen Z, one thing that they all have in common is that they tend to go meatless at least once a week.
That is really interesting. And I feel like I do see that when you go to restaurants, you see more and more vegan and vegetarian options on the menus. And so it's not surprising, but as a millennial, I can't really relate.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you tried to incorporate it?
So when I first moved out of my parents' house, the way that my kitchen was set up, like there was no freezer, there was no oven. So like I really wasn't equipped to, and because really grocery stores don't sell like meat for one.
Right.
I wasn't equipped to like hold on to or freeze anything. So I was like, I can't save anything for the week. So I did actually explore more of like a vegetarian diet at that point.
But in that sense, it's practical. And I wonder if that's part of this too. That makes a lot of sense.
I think some of it is practical. I also think too, as a lot more people do a little bit more research and see just the sort of effect that a lot of commercial, like big industrial farming has with climate change. There's a lot of relation there. So I think some people are cutting back on their red meat consumption at least once a week.
Yeah.
So maybe it makes them feel better.
And there are a lot of other options out there in terms of like the Impossible burgers and veggie burgers and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better over the years too, because I always like to try meat alternatives just because I'm curious and I'm like, hey, I'll eat it. I'm not a big red meat eater to start with. I could easily be pescatarian, I think, if I really wanted to commit. But I do think there have been a lot more interesting vegan, vegetarian options, and especially at restaurants is a good place to play because like it's usually going to be something good.
Right.
When you try to make it at home, it never turns out quite the same. And you're like, why isn't this any good?
That makes sense. Yes, that's very true.
Something else that sort of struck me as an interesting statistic, and I'm not sure that I believe this entirely, but that's also just speaking from personal experience. So I'd probably have to do a little more talking with individuals.
Fact checking.
But they say that pulling an all-nighter can actually relieve depression symptoms for a couple of days.
The only way I can see that being true is that you're so foggy minded that you can't think of anything, and therefore that includes sadness and depression. I personally, I feel miserable when I'm tired.
Yeah, I know when I don't get enough sleep, not a happy person.
No, me
not
neither.
enjoying the day when I haven't had enough sleep. But I guess what the research suggested was that it's sort of you get that adrenaline rush, that dopamine rush, because your brain is so tired, and so it's almost sort of this like euphoric loopiness.
Like you're overcompensating for the tired by creating those extra hormones. Interesting.
Exactly. So I thought it was really interesting. So maybe if you are, and I think especially as we head into the colder months, the winter season, a lot of the winter blues tend to surface. And I know, everybody always says get more vitamin D, more exercise, like some of the things that are also just really hard to do when you're already struggling with depression and anxiety, and those symptoms that just like when it's hard to get out of bed, you don't want to exercise. It's a really hard thing to do in your day. And so, I mean, maybe give it a shot. Try it on a Friday night so that you don't have to worry about work the next day, and see what it does for you.
The
Get back to
holiday
us.
season, there's plenty of opportunities to stay up all night working on things too, and wrapping presents, and
But we're not going to keep you up all night. We've got a great show to get to with Coast Life coming up on the show today. Matt and Paige, they get a little bit competitive. They've got a little bet going on, so we're going to tell you all about that and see who's going to win what when it comes to a big college game this weekend. We're also taking a trip to Papi's Tacos in Ocean City, and a way that you can help give back to the community with the food bank. All that and more is headed your way when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
All right, Coast Life, Rachel Parker joining me on the Coast Life couch today, filling in for Paige while she is enjoying some much needed vacation time. But Rachel, did you ever, when you were a kid, write letters to Santa?
every year. What about you?
Every year, of course. That's how else are you going to get what you want for Christmas? So if you enjoyed doing that, maybe you're going to really enjoy our guests today. We've got Santa's Letters joining us on the Coast Life couch. Christina and Sean, thank you guys for coming in. First of all, let's ask you, what is Santa's Letters? What does your group do?
Well, Santa's Letters is basically two entities. We write the letters back to the kids that, every letter that we get in our big red mailbox gets a letter back from Santa Claus. And we help get the letters to Santa Claus so the kids can receive them back.
Yeah, there's a lot of letters out there. He needs
lot
some
of
helping
letters.
hands every now and then. And
lot
that
of
mailbox
kids.
is awesome.
It is.
So, and on top of that, during the years, in the very beginning, we were also getting letters for families that needed help for the holiday season. So we ended up turning Santa's Letters into a 501c3, which is our nonprofit, and this is our 5th year doing it.
It's amazing. Yeah. What a great story. How did you get started in this? It's so amazing.
Yeah, in 2018, we just had kind of a rough year, and it was holiday season, and Sean found the big red mailbox and say, hey, hon, I'm going to put this in our front yard just for fun. Let's say that we are the official drop-off center for Santa's Letters. And I was like, all right. We put it on social media, and it just took off. And our first year was really huge. We helped Santa write a lot of letters that year.
A lot.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of really special memories made for a lot of kids in our area. And you guys just finished up doing one of your really big fundraisers, right? Tell me about that and where some of that money goes to within the community.
Yeah, this was our 5th year having our spaghetti dinner fundraiser at Salted Vines Winery in Frankfurt. They've been a huge supporter of Santa's Letters since the very beginning. And so I'm not ready to tell how much we raised just yet, but it was up there.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more than last year. And those funds are going to go towards helping families around the Christmas time, the holidays, and also throughout the school year and the summer. We do a summer fundraiser as well, and we help kids throughout the entire year with school supplies, even needs that they, like summer equipment or clothing or trips.
And it could be a misconception. I'm sure that people assume you only work around the holidays. So if people want to help out, whether it's this time of the year or another time of the year, what should they do? How can they help you?
Well, we have a website, santaslettersinc.com. They can go on there. They can, there is a button that you can push for, if you need help or assistance. You can go on there, you can email us, you can call us. Our phone numbers are on there. We're always open 24 hours a day. So, I mean, if anybody needs anything, there's an emergency, they can always contact us.
You guys have been doing this for a little while now. What are maybe some of your favorite parts of helping Santa get these letters out and helping kids in our community have a good Christmas?
Well, I know Madeline came down the first year, and she did an interview, and we had our bird Pepper. So our bird Pepper flies the letters to Santa Claus every year. So he's a tired bird by the end of the season.
Pepper works hard. That's a hard
He is. He
He does.
He does great. But that's the fun of it. We used to have it in front of our house. It started with the mailbox, and then I had to build a little enclosure over it because the mail was getting wet. And then it turned into a facade, and then it turned into a playground, and then it turned into this big thing where we decided to have people come over to the house, and it turned into a big mailbox ceremony. Millville Fire Company wanted to get involved, and Santa Claus and some hot rods. So one year we had about 275 people at our house.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very inviting.
Okay, well, I was going to ask. I mean, you've been doing this for 5 years, and you've already seen a lot of growth. What are sort of the future plans to help build this and keep helping Santa out this time of year? Because, I mean, it just gets busier and busier.
It does, and the thing is, this is our first year. We actually have a brick and mortar this year. So now we have Santa's Letters Inc. spot. The future idea is going to be that the families can come in and shop themselves.
Nice.
So it'll give them a sense of, coming in, helping the family, and then they will leave with the wrapping paper, scissors, tape, and they can wrap the gifts themselves.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I was gathering it wasn't at your house anymore. So
No,
people
yeah.
wanted to visit
yeah.
this brick and mortar.
Yeah, as it
where-
was getting a little higher and higher, and a little more people, the HOA was like, "Come on, you're going to have a meeting with us now." So
It actually just moved. Last year was our first time having the mailbox delivery ceremony, which we'll talk about as well. But it's now in Millville, so it's at 32828 Reba Road in Millville.
Great.
And the display will be going up here pretty soon.
very soon.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ceremony.
Yeah.
Where and when can people get involved?
Yeah, it'll be November 18th from 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And we usually have some fire pits, and we have a lot of volunteers. The Indian River School District sends a lot of their honor society students to help us. And
Hot chocolate and
yeah, we'll
marshmallows.
have hot chocolate, marshmallows.
and
The kids love it. They bring their letters. They just
snow
have
machine.
fun. We have a lot of our
Fun.
sponsors come and set up a table for like games and crafts, and we have a DJ. Stevie J donates his DJ services, each year. So it's really a lot of fun. The community loves it,
It sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I know that the community really benefits from what you guys do as well.
and they
so.
help so much. We couldn't do
do.
this without them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the first year they stepped up, and there was just so many people that, because we had 8 families that we got letters from the first year, and that's what started going with Santa's letters, and it was crazy. We put it on Facebook. Hey, this family needs help. I'll take that family. I'll take that family, and it was amazing.
It is awesome. I mean, something that I know Paige and I have talked about, and Rachel, I mean, even with you guys, with Parker Group, we've talked about how much the community just always steps up and always gives back and always helps out because, I mean, it really does take a village, and you see that with Sussex County and our coastal Delmarva community. Well, thank you guys,
Yeah,
Sean
thank
and
you for
Christina,
having
with
us.
Santa's Letters.
Thank you so much.
We know that it is that busy time of year, so these guys are going to be busy helping out Santa from now through December.
Right.
And if you want to get involved, this is going to be a great way to get involved and give back to the community as well. But we've got more events to tell you about and more fun to be had when Coast Life gets back. Coast Life, we know how much this community along coastal Delmarva loves to take care of each other. And when the holiday season rolls around, we tend to band together to make sure everybody has a meal. Here to tell us more about that is Chad Robinson with the Food Bank of Delaware. Chad, welcome to the Coast Life Couch.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Now, Chad, I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize how close we are to needing the services that the Food Bank of Delaware provides. Let's dive into those. What do you guys provide for our community here within Delaware?
Well, first, I think you're so right. Delawareans are pulled every day with the things that stress a person. So, as you said, one bill that's not planned for, one car repair that needs to be made this time of year, one heater repair, or something like that, pulls on a person's resources and makes them in a position where they might need the Food Bank of Delaware. So we want to be there to make sure that we can provide the food assistance that folks need. So what do they need today? We call it food for today and food for tomorrow. So food for today is really, what can we do to put food in their stomach today, put food on their table today? And so there's a variety of ways. Obviously, we do that through our backpack program and senior meal program, our mobile pantry, things like that. But then we also talk a lot about food for tomorrow. And so those are the things that we can do to hopefully make tomorrow better. So helping folks sign up for benefits that they might be eligible for through the state, nutrition education, or workforce development through our culinary school or warehouse training program, where we can give folks the skills they need to maybe enter the workforce or get back into the workforce. So all of those things are ways that we try to help Delawareans find the resources they need to either put food on their table today or make tomorrow brighter.
Yeah, I know we've had you guys in here before talking about that culinary program. It's incredible.
Really is.
And I mean, it really does help people. I think giving people the skills, it's sort of the teach, demand to fish mentality that really helps our community get in a position where they can take care of themselves and provide that food for tomorrow. I think we were talking about these big scary bills, but even inflation has gotten into a point where, your sort of basic food necessities are just out of reach for a lot of people. So you guys are doing something about that a little bit.
Well, sure. And I mean, I think that's the thing. People, all of us are on the front lines of seeing what happens when we go to the grocery store. We know our food dollar is not stretching as far as it did before. We know that gallon of milk is more expensive than it was a couple of years ago. And so as folks are grappling again with those decisions about what to do, how to provide for their kids, how to provide for aging relatives, how to provide for just themselves, it becomes very difficult. And so we always want to make sure that we're here to provide those resources, those food resources that folks need, because especially this time of year, we don't want anybody to go without food.
Yes.
We're coming up on Thanksgiving. We know how food-centric that holiday
Sure is, yes.
And so, especially this year, it can become very, very trying for a family to be thinking about Thanksgiving, to think about gathering, but then to think, what can I bring? Or how can I have my family with me at our table? And so those are types of things that we don't want folks to have to think about.
For sure. And that's where, the Food Bank of Delaware is a phenomenal resource for people that are maybe struggling with that decision or just even coming up with food resources to bring to Thanksgiving. But you guys also are distributing some food coming up here soon, right? Tell me about that.
So next week we'll start a round of large-scale mobile pantries, mass distributions, if you will, in Kent and Sussex County. So next Monday we'll be in Sussex County at the Crossroad Community Church. And again, just an opportunity for folks to come receive that assistance if they need it. Excuse me. Folks will be able to just show up there. They'll be able to, as long as they have something that proves they live in Delaware, a proof of Delaware residency, we'll be able to serve them. They can visit our website early to sign up in advance. That doesn't mean that the guarantee of assistance, but it just does help make sure to move that line a little bit quicker on the day of the distribution. So that's Monday, and then Wednesday we'll be in Kent County at Dover Motor Speedway, doing the same thing there for our Kent County residents.
Awesome. Again, just a really excellent resource and a way that you guys take care of the community. I guess maybe for folks who want to get involved and maybe want to volunteer, do you guys take volunteers?
Absolutely. Volunteers are the heart and soul of what we do at the food bank. We really, really couldn't do everything we do without our amazing volunteers. So I always tell folks the best thing to do, folks' lives are busy, we know that, is to log on to our website, www.fbd.org. When they get there, they'll be able to see the volunteer link. They click that, and it'll come up with a calendar. So they'll be able to see all of the shifts that are available, and then they'll be able to select the shift that works for them. So there's all kinds of opportunities, different things for folks to do. And so, again, heart and soul of what we do. We couldn't do everything without our volunteers.
Awesome. I love to hear that, Chad. And, so maybe if you have had an extra fortunate year this year and you're wanting and looking and willing to give back to the community, volunteering with the Food Bank of Delaware will be a great way to do that, with a couple of opportunities to do just that coming up here next week. So it's going to be a wonderful event again, and we love to see the community taking care of each other. But we've got more community-oriented events headed your way with Coast Life, so stay right there.
Oh my goodness. Where are you going with that? Give me that. You better give me that. You better give me that. Hey, get back here.
That adorable video you just saw was baby Quinn. We love her here. She's actually the daughter of one of our coworkers who works in our creative department. But this is part of our Mom Moments segment. We're showing you some really funny, sometimes adorable, sometimes maybe a little naughty
Sometimes.
videos of kids. Yes, but we love them all. So that was our coworker Sarah's daughter Quinn, who decided peas just taste better off the table.
I mean, sometimes the food's just that good that a knife and fork won't do. You got to dump it and just start eating with your hands, you know?
Yeah. And that stressed you out. Sarah has a dog, so we know that dog probably ate good that day.
Probably, you know, why even bother buying plates and bowls for your baby?
Exactly, right, exactly.
Perfectly good high chair tray.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But let's look at one more video from Quinn that Sarah sent us, because you'll see how much this dog and the baby get along. Check this out too.
Give it to the dog. Oh, that's nice. Good girly.
But honestly, that one I love, because what a good listener. And she's only, I think, like, did she say she's 2?
I think, yeah, she said 14 months.
Oh, really young.
I think that's what she said. Yeah.
Oh, you go, Quinn, because
I know, Quinn's a really good sharer.
yeah, I know a lot of babies who would just put that bone in their mouth and
off they go.
Run away from their moms. Exactly.
But we've got another mom moment to share with you, especially because we're a little early in the week. Maybe you're feeling a little slow. We've been feeling some of that sluggishness ourselves. You're not alone. So maybe just a little motivation to get you closer and closer to Friday with this mom moment.
Porter, what's today?
Friday.
It's Wednesday.
Friday.
It's Wednesday.
Friday.
It's Wednesday.
Friday.
It'll be Friday in a couple days. Today is Wednesday.
Leah, I think everyone needs to have that kind of thought. Every day is Friday.
Every day is Friday. Yes, thank you, Porter.
That's amazing. I'm going to say that today. It's Friday. It's Friday.
What day is it?
Although that might disappoint me when I wake up tomorrow and it's Wednesday.
Can be a little confusing. I think that's where it gets a little disheartening.
Yeah. But we love his optimism.
We do. So share your mom moments with us. You can always email them to us, team@coastlife.com, and we'll share them here on the show.
Sounds great. You know, Leah, we talk a lot of NFL, we talk a lot of pro football, but today we're talking one of the best college teams in the United States, baby, the Terps. But there's been some competition.
There's always competition when it comes to talking football.
Always. So to talk some friendly competition is someone we know very well.
Oh, yes.
We have Matt Pencek back on Coast Life. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
Sure, of course. Hey, your first time on the Coast Life
I
couch.
know, this is exciting.
Yeah.
I've watched the show. I'm a dedicated viewer, and I'm first time on the couch. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Definitely. So on the couch today, you have a Marylander, a Pennsylvanian, and a Delaware girl.
True.
So there's a little competition, but you guys know I do the morning news with Matt, and he talks a lot of competition on the breaks.
Just a little bit.
Let me tell
Just
you.
a little.
Yeah, so we thought it'd be fun because Penn State, if you haven't heard, Matt's a big Penn State fan, hence the tie and the pants. And I, of course, love a good Maryland team, so they play each other this weekend, Matt.
Yeah, very exciting. It's in College Park. If you're there, I'm there too. I'll be the guy wearing blue and white. So if you see a guy, that's probably me.
Feel free to throw a couple boos his way. Some friendly, some friendly boos. But you know, it's not competition without some bets.
Yes.
So
we decided to do a little tail of the tape. An impartial panel of judges came up with some categories. And who's better, Pennsylvania or Maryland, in these categories? And this will help determine who will win the game on Saturday.
That's right.
So our first category, we went state flag.
Okay.
You have the Maryland state flag and the Pennsylvania state flag.
this one's obvious.
The big check goes to Maryland. As a Pennsylvania native, I cannot even. You guys wear the flag.
Nothing gets in the way of a Marylander and their flag.
It's Leah, it's hats.
It's everything.
T-shirts. It's shorts. It's bathing suits.
And it's too much.
It's not enough.
There's too much happening on the flag. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen a Pennsylvanian wear anything on the Pennsylvania
None of the
flag.
other states.
Right.
Because your flags,
Maybe Texas.
yeah, and maybe California, because your flags just aren't as cool. So I'm going to take this win proudly. I think the flag one is an obvious win for me. Okay, what's next?
Next category, we're going to go with beer.
Okay.
So Maryland, Natty Bo,
I
National
love
Bohemian.
it. Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Yingling.
This was a hard one
The
for me.
check goes to Yingling, Pennsylvania. It's America's oldest brewery, Paige.
I'm gonna give it to Pennsylvania for that reason. I think I love Natty Bo because when you're in Baltimore and you see the big Natty Bo sign and you're driving through, I used to think it was the Pringles sign, and my parents let me think that, I think, for a long time. The Pringles man, but
Sure, of course.
that's fine. Natty Bo can come in second.
Well, I like my Natty Bo too
I know
with
you do.
crabs.
I know
Speaking
you do.
of which, we're going to go to food now.
All right.
All right, the food for Maryland, crabs. Food for Pennsylvania. This was a tough one. Pennsylvania's a big rectangular state. So you got the eastern part. I went with cheesesteaks, Philadelphia. And then the western part, pierogies, the Pittsburgh area.
Oh, man.
Either way, I mean, crabs, hands down, crabs. Maryland wins this category.
I think my
I
lovely
don't know that that's
co-host-
hands down, man. This
Oh.
puts me as Delaware
As
in
a
a hard spot.
You know what she had for lunch yesterday?
Cheesesteak?
Pierogies.
Pierogies. Oh.
Literally had pierogies for lunch yesterday. So I'm afraid to get in the middle of this one.
I know, that's okay.
I thought it would be a slim. I was going to concede.
No, and I love crabs too, so I'm like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have conceded so early.
No, you should have,
Okay.
because let's be real. Even Delawareans like crabs, Marylanders like crabs, so I think this is a fair win, but it is a close
It's close.
A little closer than we thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
Okay.
is.
Next category,
Yeah.
we're going to go songs about the state.
Okay.
So Maryland, this is a tough one. The judges, they had a tough time coming up with songs about Maryland, so they went with that yacht rock song, Starbuck,
Yeah.
Moonlight.
Yes.
Pennsylvania, that one was easy for the judges. They decided to go with the Pennsylvania polka.
I mean,
and
how
the
could
win
you not?
goes to Pennsylvania, by the way.
That is a fair one as well. I went to college in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvanians love to play this song at parties. They love it. They think it's so funny. So it's fair.
Well, it's also factually correct because one of the, but one of the first lines in the song is, it started in Scranton and it's still number one. Number one, Paige.
That's fair. Hey,
Right, Leah, you're with me on this
That's
one.
true. That's true. I mean, Yingling's in Scranton too.
Yeah.
Everybody starts in Scranton.
That's right. I know when to concede. I know when to say you won.
Okay.
Okay.
Final category is who's the better football team? And I mean, this one, within a second, they came back with their decision, the judges did, and it was Penn State. I didn't have to really think about that.
Well, have you caught on yet that the judges,
The impartial panel of judges.
right there, not Leah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to say the better team. Well, here's the thing. The better team can actually be used with real facts.
Okay.
I do think you guys have a better record than us most times, but I'm going to give the better team this year. Boom.
Okay.
So
So I think, Lee, we were talking, we decided, how do we settle this? We went with a friendly wager.
Yep.
We're going to bet lunch.
Okay.
And the wager is if Penn State wins, Paige will get me a crab cake sandwich for lunch.
Makes sense.
And then if Maryland somehow wins, the original thought was I'll give a cheesesteak sandwich for Paige for lunch. But recently I went out and had my own crab cake sandwich paid with my own money. A little bit pricier than I thought. So to make this more equitable, if Maryland wins, Paige gets 2 separate lunches of cheesesteaks.
one to maybe share with my co-host.
That's right. Well, then I
here.
guess I got to root for Maryland.
That's why I did it. I was just going to ask Leah, if you had to pick right now.
When there's food on the table, man, I got to go with that. So if you're going to share, I'm going
She's
Maryland.
wearing red this weekend.
Oh boy.
All right.
I'll be wearing blue.
Really, it's a win-win. Like either
Yeah.
way, one of you gets food. So
Yeah,
no one loses.
That's true. That's a good point. All right. Well, it's on.
All right.
Let's do it.
Bet is made.
The bet is made. Well, thanks for joining us in this fun competition. If you have any, like, Maryland's really going to win and you're going to the game, I want to see your photos. If you're rooting for Penn State, good luck to you this weekend. We're happy
We'll
for
take
you.
those photos too.
Yeah, if you want to send them to Matt, he'll enjoy them. Just messing with you. All friendly competition here. So we'll talk about this on Monday.
Yes.
See where we land.
See where we land.
All right, sounds good. Well, good luck to all the teams playing this weekend, but you don't have to do anything just yet. Just stay right where you are. Coast Life will be right back.
All right, Coast Life, you know what that means. We love spending time, probably too much time, watching TikTok videos. But hey, the good news is we're here to try them, and we always love new recipes, where we tend to be big foodies here on TikTok. So it's usually the snack ones that tend to catch our eye. It's just me today. I like a little bit of a healthier snack from time to time to make myself feel better about all the cheese that I eat in a day. So I thought cucumbers were going to be a good choice. So basically in that video, pretty simple, just 2 ingredients, just your cucumbers and your ranch seasoning, and so that's all you need. I decided to go with a little bit more of a kick today, because I like a little bit of spice. In that video, the guy he shakes everything up so that everything gets all blended and mixed together. So I don't have a closed container with me today, so I think I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle and mix. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna chop some more of these up, and we'll see how it tastes. Note to self, plastic forks don't go through the cucumber very well. And like I said, I went with the spicy one, but they've got all kinds of ranch seasonings out there. I didn't realize. I feel like a new world has been opened. We'll see if that's too much or that's too little. I'm gonna mix it up just a little bit. Pretty plain, I feel like. I feel like off the bat, there's already some more flavors. I'm gonna add just a little bit more that maybe I would add. I think normally when I do a cucumber salad, I tend to just do vinegar, sour cream, and my basics, onion powder and garlic powder that I use in everything. So we'll see if a little bit of a spicy kick adds something to it. I love ranch on everything. I will not lie, I am a ranch lover, so let's see. Not bad. I think for sort of a light, healthy snack, if that's what you're interested in, this would be a perfect choice for you. It comes together quick and easy. I think that might be the advantage that this has over adding vinegar and salt and pepper and all that stuff, because again, it takes time. Sometimes we just don't feel like putting in all that effort to a lazy snack. So this is kind of a feel-good lazy snack because it's good for you and it's only 2 ingredients. You just cut up some cucumbers, add your seasoning, and go about your day. I'll see if the rest of the team wants any of this. So we're gonna take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because if you love delicious food, we're gonna be taking a trip to Papi's Tacos on Coast Life. How delicious does all of that food look? If Mexican food is your comfort food, then grab you, your friends, and head on down to Papi's Tacos in Ocean City.
Mouthwatering, sizzling fajitas, stuffed burritos the size of your face, an array of juicy tacos, and so much more. If you love authentic Mexican food, Papi's Tacos on Philadelphia Avenue in Ocean City is where you need to be.
Well, we started a bar in Fells Point, which was kind of the drinking district of Baltimore City.
In 2007.
2007. We named it after her son, Alexander. So we had Alexander's Tavern. And then we kind of noticed a void in the food market there for Mexican. So right around the corner, we opened Papi's Tacos, and that was our first Papi's Tacos.
If a trip to Mexico isn't in the budget, a trip to Papi's Tacos will give you a taste of the real thing.
Well, we'd like to base ourselves on authentic Mexican food, sort of the street food that you would get in Mexico. We went down there a couple times and saw what they were doing. And the main thing is all fresh ingredients. Everything you see here, we've made. All the pico de gallo, everything is house-made. The birria, all the soups, everything we do is in-house. So when you get it, it's going to be authentic and it's going to be really fresh.
Fresh taste that you'll want at your next party or event, which Papi's Tacos can cater.
We do anything you need. We can go and serve and, take care of the whole event at your house or at a venue. You can come here, we can do it here. We can just drop off and set up.
While many businesses at the beach close for certain days during the off-season, Papi's Tacos is open 7 days a week with tons of daily specials.
Monday nights is fun because you get a dice after you eat, and you roll it, and you get 10 to 60% off your food. Any and all food you ate. So yeah, it's fun. People enjoy it, and we get a lot of 6s somehow, but it's good.
I need to wait that dice.
Between daily specials, fresh ingredients, outdoor seating options, you'd think Papi's Tacos couldn't get any better. But that's because you haven't heard how inclusive their menu is yet.
We have a huge gluten-free selection. Actually, most of our menu is gluten-free on its own. You just can't have the flour tortillas or a few other items, but we take that very seriously. I'm gluten-free. I have been for 12 years, so I understand the challenges of trying to go out and enjoy a meal, and you can't have like all the stuff that looks good. But so we take that very seriously. We also offer a vegan menu because I know that's very, important to a lot of people.
Papi's Tacos is a family-run business, and they treat you like family when you're there, which is why Charlie and Carrie weren't going to let me leave without getting a taste of what's on the menu.
Where do we start?
Yeah, I guess, we can start down here. This is
right.
an overstuffed burrito, and we do a little crema on the top now, and so you get the burrito with all the good fillings inside, and then you have some on the outside that you can kind of mix it yourself. This is our chorizo, so this is our hard shell taco. Like I said, you can get corn, soft corn, and soft flour, or hard shell. This is our most popular dish right now, the fajita.
Yeah.
It comes to the table steaming,
you hear it coming.
wild and crazy. In fact, when we first started doing it, we did this all over the place, and in Baltimore, we kept setting off the fire alarm. So we had to tone down the amount of steam and sizzle that we brought, but it still comes with a little sizzle and some steam.
I love that.
And this is also one of our most popular dishes now, the birria tacos, which hit the scene like 3 or 4 years ago, and like everybody's all into the birria, and it's such a good dish because you get this little beef consomme alongside of it, and you can dip your taco in there, and it's really, really yummy.
You're not kidding. I think those fresh ingredients really make a difference in the taste and elevate the
We have a
meal
whole
that you're getting.
crew in the kitchen that we open at 11 or whatever time, different times during the year, but those guys are in here at 6, 7 in the morning getting ready, prepping everything, making the pico, making everything. So we try to keep everything fresh and delicious.
Well, it shows, and everything is delicious, and I wish I had more stomachs so that I could eat all of this food that you see before you, but I won't do that. I am also very tempted by the drinks, which maybe I can get to during the break on COASTLIFE. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for having me here today. I mean, like I said, if you haven't been to Papi's in Ocean City to check it out, you gotta get here because it's going to be your new favorite spot. Don't go anywhere, though, because we do have some more COASTLIFE headed your way.
This segment of COASTLIFE was brought to you by Ocean City Tourism.
All right, COASTLIFE, we always have so much fun with you. We're going to get ready to let you go enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. But did you have a favorite part of today? I thought that the mailbox that they brought in from Santa's letters was so cool. When they said they had a big mailbox.
Yes, it was huge. And I love the fact that they still even had Easter eggs in it from Easter, because really mixing up the seasons a little bit. But what a fun story that they have. I love that.
Yes, and I mean, we've told you today alone about so many great ways and opportunities to give back to our community, especially this holiday season. But I think what's really nice to keep in mind about all of those organizations that tend to take a front seat during the holidays, they give back all year round. And so that's something to keep in mind, and something that's important to consider as maybe I usually for the new year start making my goals, philanthropic efforts. So maybe we'll be one this year.
Yeah, and spreading it out over the year. That's a great point.
Yeah, I think so. Don't forget this weekend as well, daylight savings. We fall back an hour, so a lot of people getting that extra hour of sleep, which I know we love.
Looking forward to that one. Yeah, especially after this week.
So then, are your team? I guess keep daylight savings? I can't remember which way is which.
Yes, I think I am. But I understand that it is wonky. I've heard crazy stories about how it affects medical issues and things like that. People that get the less sleep, there's more heart attacks, and but I like getting that extra hour of sleep as a surprise. So
because I know some people want to keep, or I guess permanent daylight savings is when we jump forward and then we stay that way all year. So I can appreciate all the extra daylight I think that might come with that.
Sure,
but I don't know how I feel about it. There is something just kind of nice about knowing you wake up early and you're like, oh wait, I can go back to sleep.
Wonderful feeling.
It is a wonderful feeling. So don't forget to turn those clocks back, and maybe you want to go to bed on time on Sunday, and that way you can thoroughly enjoy that extra hour of sleep Monday morning. But we are going to get out of here. Have a fantastic weekend. Paige will be back on Monday, although we've enjoyed hanging out with Rachel all week long, and know we'll see you throughout the week. So it's going to be